What's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to play Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs. It's in standard tuning with the capo on the first fret. If you want to check out the tabs, they're available on my website for free. Link is going to be in the description down below. Let's go and get started. We'll get started with the intro. It's really quick. It's going to sound like this. Alright, so we only have one chord shape that we're going to be using for this part. It's going to be a D sus chord. That's going to be open D, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B. You want to mute the high E string so it doesn't ring out. And we're going to be doing just a bunch of down strums with a palm mute. To palm mute, you want to rest the side of your palm on top of the strings, just in front of the bridge pins. That's going to give it that percussive sound. So again, we're doing a bunch of down strums, but you want to do it with a count because you put a little bit more emphasis on certain strums. I'll put the count here. So again, it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then after that what you want to do is take off the 3rd fret of the B string. Now we're using our index finger to bar 2nd fret G and B, technically an A over D chord. We're going to do this one down, 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 and then you're going to add the 3rd fret back to finish off the same strumming pattern we did before. Down, 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 down. So you're kind of breaking it up just a little bit. Together, it'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. So let's play from the beginning. And we're going to play that 2 times. So let's play it a couple times a little bit slower. And now regular speed. My brother rode an Indian scout. And then we get to the verse. So again, intro is really short, but that strumming pattern is what we're going to be using for the rest of the song. Next part up is the verse. And the verse is going to sound like this. My brother rode an Indian scout. He was black like his jacket, American spirit hanging out of his mouth, just like our daddy. He kick-started that bike one night and broke mama's heart, pointing that headlight west, out where the wild things are. So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using that same strumming pattern that we were using in the intro, and we're still continuing the palm mute. First progression, we're going to start off with the G chord. That's going to be 3rd fret low E, lightly touch the A string so it doesn't ring out. We have 3rd fret B and high E. We're going to do the same strumming pattern that we did in the intro 2 times. So again, that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then from there, we're going to switch to a D chord. So now we are going to add that 2nd fret of the high E string. We're going to strum this one twice the same way as well. And we're going to play this progression 2 times to start. So let's play it from the beginning, a little bit slower. So again, you play that 2 times. The next progression, we're going to start off with a B minor chord. So this one you want to bar the 2nd fret of all the strings. We've got 4th fret D and G, 3rd fret B. We're going to use the same strumming pattern, but only 1 time for this one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you're going to switch to a G, strum it once. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then we're going to go to D and strum it 2 times with that same pattern. So let's play it from the beginning, starting with that B minor. from here, we're going to switch back to a G chord, strum it once again. Then you're going to switch to an A chord. I like to use my index finger to bar the second fret of the D, G, and B strings. You're going to leave A and high E open. We're going to strum this one once. And then we're going to switch back to D. We're going to do one full strumming pattern and then one extra down strum before muting the strings. So it'll sound like this. So to do that mute at the end, after that last down strum, you just strum and then put your hand back on top of the strings to stop them from ringing out. So it'll go, and then the next verse starts. So now let's play the second half of this line, starting with the G chord. And now let's play the whole line all together a little bit slower. And now regular speed. Alright, so now let's play the verse one more time, all together with the words. My brother rode an Indian scout. He's black like his jacket, American spirit hanging out of his mouth, just like our daddy. He kick-started that bike one night and broke mama's heart, pointing that headlight west, out where the wild things are. And then you get to the next verse. Now I do want to mention during the second verse, the last couple chords he does a little bit differently. So the second half of the line that we just did, we have that G, A, and D. The second time around, he's going to strum G regular, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you're going to switch to A, do a single down strum, and let it ring out. And then you're going to switch to G and strum it twice before the chorus starts. And then you get to the chorus. So the second verse, again, ends just slightly differently. It'll sound like this. How we bought an Airstream trailer and a J45 guitar. Said, little brother, you love it out here, out where the wild things are. And then you get to the chorus. So just keep that in mind. Second verse ends a little bit differently. All right, next part up is the chorus. It's going to sound like this. Said, little brother, you love it out here, out where the wild things are. No thoughts on fire and crazy dreams. No nights ignite like gasoline. Light up those streets and never sleep when the sky goes dark. Alright, so for the chorus, we only have two progressions that we're going to be playing through. First one up is going to start with the B minor. We're going to keep the strumming pattern we did in the verse, but you're going to take off the palm mute. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no muting here. Then you're going to switch to G, strum it the same way. Then D, same thing again. And then A. That's the first progression. We're going to play that 2 times. So let's play it all together a little bit slower. And now regular speed. And then we get to the next progression. Now the next one, we're going to start out with a G chord, and we're going to strum it once, just like we did. Then you're going to move to a D over F sharp. So now we have 2nd fret low E, 2nd fret G, lightly touch the A string so it doesn't ring out, and then we have 3rd fret B and high E. We're going to strum this one once as well. And then we're going to go to an E minor. That's just 2nd fret A and D, rests are open. We're going to strum this one once as well. And then finally we're going to go to an A chord, and we're just going to do a single down strum and let it ring out. So the second line a little bit slower. And now regular speed. And that's going to end the chorus. Alright, so now let's play the chorus all together one more time. Said, little brother, you love it out here, out where the wild things are. No, hearts on fire and crazy dreams. Oh, now take ignite like gasoline and light up those streets and never sleep when the sky goes dark, out where the wild things are. And then at the end of the chorus, you're just going to play that same thing we did in the intro. So that's how you're going to play the chorus. Alright, the next part I want to show you is the part at the end of the 3rd verse that leads into the bridge. So he's going to shorten up the last line of the verse instead of jumping straight into the chorus. He's going to play an interlude section and then the bridge where he starts to say, couple iron horse rebels. So the end of the 3rd verse into the interlude section sounds like this. Ended up at a house on the hills with some Hollywood stars, kissing on a blonde in a backyard pool, out where the wild things are. Oh, yeah. And then we get to the bridge. So like I said, the end of the 3rd verse is shortened just a little bit. So the last line, you're still going to go B minor to G to D, but then you're going to go G and then A, and we're not going to go to D. We're just going to go right into the interlude, which is the same chord progression to start as the chorus. So we've got B minor, G, and then D, and A. So that's where he says R. Then he's going to do the oh yeah part, and that one he's going to go B minor, G, and then A 2 times, and then get to the bridge. So again, that interlude chord progression is just slightly different from the chorus. So let's play the interlude section one more time, regular speed. And then we get to the bridge. And the bridge is going to sound like this. Couple iron horse rebels, wild as a devil. I knew I had to move back east. Say goodbye to my brother, the end of that summer. I knew he'd never leave. And then you get to the last chorus. So this one's pretty easy. We only have 2 chords that we're going to be using. First one up is going to be G. We're going to strum it without a palm mute the same way we have been throughout the entire song. So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're going to switch to A, strum it 2 times as well. Then we're going to go back to G, strum it twice again. And then we're going to go to A, do 1 full strumming pattern, and then we're going to do 1 extra down strum and let it ring out. So it'll go. And then you get to the last chorus. And now regular speed 1 more time. Couple line horse rebels, wild as the devil. I knew I had to move back east, say goodbye to my brother, the end of that summer, but I knew he'd never leave. And then the last chorus. Fuck, that's hard to sing. Alright, the last part I want to show you is the final chorus. It's not played too different from the original, but there are a couple of minor changes. For example, the first progression I showed you, instead of just playing it 2 times, you're going to play it 4 times. 2 times with a palm mute, 2 times without. So when he starts it and says, you know, oh, it's hearts on fire and crazy dreams. No, it's ignite like gasoline. Take off the palm mute. I can't sing this part, so I'm just playing it. Half past 3. So that's the first change. Second change is on that 3rd line, so where we do that walk down from G to E minor. Instead of going to A at the end, we're going to stick on that E minor and strum it 2 times like we did before. So it's again G, D over F sharp, and then E minor twice. And then the second time, we're going to play it like we did in the original chorus. G, D over F sharp, E minor, and then A, single down strum, let it ring out. So it's the part where he says, lit up those streets, never sleep when the sky goes dark. We buried him out in the wind neath the west coast stars, out where the wild things are. Out where the wild things are. And then the song ends. So that last line I forgot to mention changes a little bit, but hopefully the tabs make sense. You're just going to play D 2 times, G, A, back to D 2 times, G, and then a single down strum on A. And that's it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Again, if you want to check out the tabs, they're available on my website for free. Link is going to be in the description down below. Go ahead and leave a request for a song you would like to learn in a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see videos like this early, consider becoming a channel member. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.